digital production.
Hi guys, this is Jess and this is the Not Carrie Bradshaw YouTube channel. Welcome back. I know it's been a minute. I wanted to check in with you guys about this topic that's buzzing around about the Gucci racial controversy. I'm not wearing a head wrap in an effort to look more ethnic. Truthfully, I just got out of the bed because the few New York Fashion Week events that I attended wore me completely out. I think I might be over it, but that's another video for another day. I just wanted to check in with you guys about a topic that we've been talking about in fashion for a while, the conversation of diversity and inclusivity and intersectionality. It's not a new one, but I think that we keep kind of dancing around the real issue, which is that it's great to have X number of Black women on the cover of heritage magazines like Vogue and Harper's Bazaar. It's great to have Black women closing out shows for heritage luxury fashion houses like Louis Vuitton and Gucci and Prada and the like. That's all well and good, but the actual diversity that's gonna matter is when you put Black people in positions of power, when you put Black people in the boardroom, when you put Black people on your actual design team and you empower them to be able to say, I don't think that that's gonna work, that's actually offensive. That's where the real diversity needs to happen. I think that it's helpful maybe for people like T.I. to say, okay, Black people, we're gonna boycott Gucci for 3 months because of this offensive sweater that they made that looks like a minstrel show character. Sure, I guess. And then it's like, oh, Prada, you tried it too. We're gonna boycott you too. Sure, I guess. These are all very reactionary things. I walked by the Prada Soho store when they had those little things that looked like monkeys / minstrel characters. The truth is, if you keep digging, you're gonna find a lot of racist references in a lot of these fashion houses because we're not in positions of power in these fashion houses. Even if you are fortunate enough as a Black person who works in fashion to get a position at all, to get hired at all, even if you fight through being a person who doesn't come from money, who has to scrape pennies together to live in New York in order to work in fashion, hello, you can push through all of that and get a position at a luxury house in any capacity, but are you going to be able to say anything? Probably not. The thing is, sometimes these companies hire Black people just to check off a box, just to say, okay, we did it, to throw us a bone. It's a lot of tokenism, and that's just what it is. I remember going to a panel a few years ago where some Black women who work in fashion as editors were talking about the fact that when they started interning, they would present Black models to be featured in spreads, and one of them very specifically said that she was told by her editor, this isn't Vibe magazine, we don't feature Black women. Just because you get the job doesn't mean that you're empowered. So if these luxury fashion companies, or even H&M, like, hello, y'all don't even make, come on, H&M, like, what even? Anyway, if any of these companies actually want to champion diversity, they have to put people of color, specifically Black people, because I'm Black, and I just feel like when we win, we look out for everybody, and that's not up for debate on my channel. You can talk to somebody else about it, but you have to put us in positions of power where we are actually empowered to give an opinion, to pull you aside, to say this is offensive, this is not going to read well. Otherwise, you're going to come out with campaigns like a little Black boy wearing a monkey shirt or this ridiculous turtleneck with big red lips. Like, I feel personally attacked because a red lip is my signature. How dare you? Anyway, I just think that if we're gonna have real conversations about diversity in fashion, it's gonna take for people to have the balls to say, don't just throw us a bone here or there. Actually hire Black people who can say something to you about your choices. I'm really happy that Dapper Dan posted to his Instagram that I think he said the CEO of Gucci is actually going to come to Harlem so that he can have a one-on-one conversation with them about actual diversity. And I'm really hoping and believing, I have a lot of faith in his ability to speak to why this is an issue. It's been a little bit disappointing for me living in New York and working in fashion media, and going to different panel discussions where you have Black people who shall remain nameless, who are supposed to be able to speak to the cultural impact of Black people, the significance of Black people, the need to have us in positions of power, and they just don't quite say what you think they're going to say. They come off a little bit as apologists who were just happy to be there, period, and who kind of don't see it as a problem, and that's very disheartening. So I think that if we're gonna have an actual conversation about what needs to happen in fashion, somebody has to be ballsy enough to say the truth, which is that it's just not enough to put us on a runway in an ad campaign, on a magazine cover. That stuff is cool. It's important for people to feel seen. But if you don't actually have someone in the room where it happens, you're gonna continue to get fallout like this. And that's just what it is. Boycotting, far be it from me to ever say that that's not effective. I think that many of the rights we enjoy today is because the generations before us boycotted things. And I think that when it comes to activism now, we're just still trying to figure it out. We don't have like a single leader. You know, there is no Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. around. We don't have a single leader to say this is what we need to do. So I applaud almost anybody who tries, but I just don't know what not buying Gucci or Prada for 3 months is gonna do to the bottom line of that company. Then again, I don't shop there often, so maybe that will actually put a dent in something. I don't know. But I think that a real conversation about where we are in the industry needs to happen with people who are actually willing to listen and actually willing to do the work. And we'll see what happens after the conversation with Dapper Dan. I'm hoping that he really goes to bat for us and says the things that need to be said. And we'll see what happens, but I hate to bust everybody's bubble, but there's a lot of racism within the fashion industry. It just is. This isn't new. We have been historically and consistently excluded from luxury fashion, and unfortunately, we don't have, a lot of Black people don't have the resources that big fashion companies have to create products of scale and quality the way that companies who are backed by these conglomerates like LVMH and Kering, like, it's very difficult to be an independent fashion designer without having that machine behind you, and it's really difficult to get that machine behind you, which is why a lot of people were really happy when Virgil Abloh was named the creative director at Louis Vuitton. I have feelings about that too, but that's another video for another day. And actually the topic of a piece that I'm working on for Essence, which is due tomorrow. So I'm gonna close this video out. Cautiously optimistic, hoping for the best, but this is just a microcosm of a huge race issue globally. It just is. Fashion isn't excluded from that. It's not unique. You think that it being this liberal industry, fashion is still big business, and big business means there are always going to be a lot of marginalized people, and we can only hope that change starts from the top down. So we'll see what happens. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend, and I'll check in with you guys later. Bye.